Hello students, I hope you're all fine and welcome back to Agriculture from 4. Now we are on the next topic, that's on gender and agricultural technology. Gender and agricultural technology. This is another interesting topic which is also very important. Uh, the population is growing rapidly and we really need agricultural technology to be on use. But sometimes it fails just because there is some segregation in terms of gender. So this is another interesting topic in agriculture. So be with me as we go through this topic. After studying this topic, you should be able to identify gender bias in agricultural technology, explain causes of gender biases in agricultural technology. You should also be able to examine the effects of gender bias in agricultural technology. And lastly, you should be able to describe ways of dealing with dealing with gender bias in agricultural technology. So we are going to discuss item by item so that we understand the whole process. So gender bias really exists in the use of agricultural technology. This limits participation and contribution of female farmers to agricultural development. You find out that the female farmers are limited in the use of agricultural technology, while these new technologies are coming in agriculture. Most of them which are complicated, they are just used by men. So we're saying this will limit participation and contribution of female farmers to agricultural development. Even on the picture here, it is showing the female farmers plucking the tea leaves using bare hands, while we have the machines which we can use to harvest tea. And you find out that if you go deeper on the same place where women are plucking tea using hands, there are men using machines plucking the same tea. So we should be familiar with the following terminologies before we go into details of our lesson today. We need to understand the term gender. What do you understand by the term gender? So gender is the condition of being male or female and its associated roles as assigned by one's society and culture. That's what we call gender. And we are also supposed to be familiar with the gender bias, as we'll be using this terminology now and again. Gender bias is favoritism due to prejudice, which results in discrimination against one of the sexes, and this is usually female. So gender bias, we are talking of favoritism due to prejudice. If we are talking of prejudice, this word describe well if you are judging someone you barely know. I think you have ever uh, done that. Just by looking on someone, the way someone is looking, you associate that person with either bad things or good things that towards that person. Or maybe I can give one example. Imagine as a female teacher, I've been transferred to your school. I'm just a new teacher, new female teacher. I've been transferred to your school. Then there is also this other male teacher also transferred to your school the same time. And let's imagine we are all mathematics teachers. We are all mathematics teachers. Then in your class, you have been given a chance to choose which teacher should be teaching you mathematics, a female or a male. Who do you choose? Who can you choose? Obviously, you at least choose the male teacher, knowing as with that prejudice. Just by looking that he's a male teacher, you feel like that male teacher can handle well mathematics uh, uh, subject. Then you say maybe this lady teacher should just teach us maybe Chichewa, something like that. So that is really happening. Just by looking on the person, then you judge that person that maybe this one can be good in this, in not in this area, just by looking on that. So the same happens when we are handling agricultural technologies. We judge that maybe this other gender cannot be able to handle these complicated machines, but this gender can be able to handle. So, what are the examples of gender bias in agricultural technology? This is the list of examples of gender biases which will take place in agricultural technology. For example, there is a high male percentage in using the plow or the ridge, using the tractor and animal drawn plows. So plows or ridge or a farmer using a tractor and animal drawn plows, or planting using planters, high percentage of male do that, using tractor drone sprayers, using shearing machines, construction work on the farm, castrating animals, conducting artificial insemination, process farm produce using sophisticated equipment, maintaining farm machinery, vaccinating and drenching farm animals. So these activities, if we are done using these sophisticated agricultural equipments, high percentage of male use those equipments. So this is the tractor drone sprayer. Uh, if you maybe we can check and zoom, we find out that is the male. And here they are all male here. Males teaching the other males on how to drive the tractor drone implement. While there is high percentage of female than male when it comes to plowing or ridging using a hoe. So a female farmer here is ridging, plowing using a hoe. Then dressing chicken by hand, female farmers, fetching water in buckets for spraying chemicals, planting crops by hands, traditional winnowing, then applying manure and fertilizer using hands or buckets. So there is high percentage of female being involved in local or traditional equipments. But what causes gender bias? So there are several causes of gender biases in agricultural technology. There are several causes of gender biases in agricultural technology. And one of it is culture. This determines what practices are best suited for the males and what are appropriate for the females. So it is the culture where we are coming from. They will determine that these practices the best suit males and these ones are best suit females. So in Malawi, it is females who lose out on the agricultural technology, just because most of the practices which have to do with the technology, most of the culture they say the suit the males. And we also have gender role socialization. This determines the behavior and characteristics that are considered to be both typically and desirable for males and females in a particular society. If in a society a man who is married carrying a bucket, people will start asking questions what is happening. So gender role socialization is also the cause of gender biases in agricultural technology. Another source of gender bias or cause of gender bias is the farmer's internal belief system. So farmer's opinion may determine his or her level of dependence and decision making. So females are said to have a lower level of independence and decision making, in turn determining the level of participation in agriculture. So if most of the females are said to have a lower level of independence as well as decision making, that will make them not to fully participate in agriculture. Apart from that, it's due to lack of early exposure to technology among females. So girls usually in most of the society, girls are exposed to domestic work or playing with dolls. From the picture, you can see that there are two innocent girls here, and they are given dolls so that they should play with them. So the mentality we are planting in these girls is that when they grow up, they'll just be bearing children. So that's the mentality we are planting in these two innocent girls. While boys are exposed to make and play with toy cars, preparing them for handling or dealing with technology. As you can see, there is a boy child here trying to fix the toy car here. Meaning, the mentality we are planting in this child is that when I grow up, I'll be able to drive big cars. I'll be able to fix these cars, maintaining what and what. So, lack of early exposure to technology among females, it's one of the cause. Apart from that, low level of education and literacy among women. Malawian parents the benefit of education favor the boys than girls. They'd rather to pay school fees to a boy child than a girl child. So boys are at an advantage of understanding agricultural technology. At least they will have that understanding on how to handle agricultural technology if they go to school. Unlike girls, lack of confidence in females in the use of agricultural technology is also another cause. But this is due to late exposure to technology, as we have already explained. So that makes females hesitate to use it, unlikely in male, since those male they've been exposed to technology when they were little, and now they will not hesitate to expose themselves to technology. Unlike girls, they were used they were exposed late to agricultural technology equipment, and now when they grow up they tend to hesitate. Then we also have limited access to capital by females. Limited access to capital by females. Males control capital items in Malawi, making it difficult to female farmers to obtain loans for buying machineries. For example, like here in Malawi, more especially the northern part of Malawi, when it comes to sharing the land in a family, sharing the land, they will share the portions of land only to male children, not female. So it means maybe if the female farmer wanted to get a loan and he doesn't have the collateral, like the fixed collateral like land, it will be difficult for them to obtain the loan, hence unable to buy those expensive machines. Apart from that, another cause is gender stereotypes against women's ability. So females are categorized as not good at using technology, making females to believe they are not as good as men in certain tasks. So since females are categorized that they are not good in technology, so that will sink in their head. Then they believe that they are really not good than male. The last one is gendered expectations. So the society has different expectations for males and females. They expect male to drive machines, use sprayers, make concrete decisions than females. And also few older women are in technological challenging positions whom young female farmers can copy compared to male. So if you check most of the position which has to do with technology, most positions they are male. So it means the female farmers, young female farmers will be difficult to copy that, since they see that most of the male uh, uh, role models are male. What are the effects of gender bias in agricultural technology? Why are we bothering discussing on gender bias in agricultural technology? Because there are lots of effects. Of course, there might be positive effects, but we'll concentrate much on the negative effects just because they are the ones which will affect agricultural production. So one of the effects is that limiting the full range of the person's women's capabilities. So women's performance on the farm does not reach full capacity as they are not able to use these agricultural technology. And if you can check, 70% of the farmers, they are females. 70% of the farmers here in Malawi, they are females. And yet, uh, they are not able to use these agricultural technology inputs. So women's performance on the farm may not reach a fully capacity. And because of that, that will lead to this effect, low contribution from one gender to agricultural technology. So we are saying that 50 to 70% of all farming activities are conducted by females. So if they are restricted from using improved technologies, their contribution will also be low. And also the other effect is low agricultural productivity. Since we are saying that the highest percentage of all farming activities are conducted by females, of which they are restricted not to use agricultural technologies, and they are only using unimproved farming technologies, this may result into low yields. And if there are low yields, the resultant effect is low farm income. Low farm income. So because of reduced productivity, this results in reduced farm income. Since the ones which farmers produce, they are the ones which will sell. So if they produce less, obviously it means they are also going to make less money. The same effect of low productivity may result into food insecurity and starvation. So due to low farm yields, farmers will not have enough to eat. Food self-sufficiency cannot be achieved, leading to food insecurity, hence hunger, malnutrition, and starvation. So this is another effect of gender bias in agricultural technology. The same as we are saying that highest percentage of farmers, they are the ones which will go to the farm, and yet they are using old equipment. This will lead to low production, and that low production may lead to food insecurity. So food insecurity We are talking of hunger here, malnutrition and starvation. And also due to low production leading to low income, poverty is another effect. So without sufficient food, members of the family are too weak to work. They can neither generate income by doing the piecework nor grow their own crops. And this may result into poverty. The result is poverty. And this poverty is coming in due to low production. Obviously, if there is low production, it means they will also be making less money, a little or less money. If that is the case, it means even the income itself, income circulation will be low in the family. And all these may slow agricultural development. So development of the agriculture sector will be limited by the low output from the use of unimproved technologies. This means the low productivity of one gender affects the whole agricultural sector. So, what are the ways of dealing with gender bias in agricultural technology? So, it is possible to deal with this animal gender bias in agricultural technology. So, one of the way is giving females opportunity to prove themselves and develop confidence. So, let us give them a chance. Let's give the females a chance so that they should be able to show that they can use these agricultural technology equipments. Gone are the days whereby we had that mentality that only a male can be able to handle sophisticated machines. It is possible even the females to handle those sophisticated machines. It's just a matter of giving them a chance. Apart from that, discrediting gender stereotypes. Some preconceived ideas on what men or women can do or cannot do should be dispelled. So we should remove that idea that this thing men can do, this thing women can do, and this thing men cannot do, this thing women cannot do. So that preconceived ideas should be dispelled. Apart from that, promoting equal education and skills development. Men and women should be trained equally in the use of improved technology. So there is need of training. We are not saying that now we should only be training women, but no, they should be equal. They should be equal. So men and women should be able should be trained equally in the use of improved technology. Apart from that, reducing women's work burden. Reducing women's work burden. Investment in infrastructure, that's improving our water supply system, for example, and labor-saving technologies can free women from some of their domestic work. So, if we can reduce women's work burden, for example, those work which we usually say that only men can do, women cannot do, those such work should be relieved. They should be relieved. Women should be relieved from such work, so they'll also be free, at least when it comes to investing in infrastructure. And also improving women's access to farm capital. Men and women should have equal access to credit. Like here in Malawi, I like the way FGH does. This is one of the commercial bank. They will give loan even to female, and they give up the challenge the women which can develop a good business plan that they can even get 10 million kwacha. So it's just a matter of developing a good business plan and you are given the 10 million as the loan. So this is a way to go. So improving women's access to farm capital, like access to credit, that will also help. And also empowering women in the use of agricultural technology. Gender bias in agricultural technology is due to low status of women in the society. So by empowering women, we will increase their confidence and participation in agricultural technology. So that makes the end of our topic. So far we have defined what gender is. We have also discussed what gender bias, and we have also listed the examples of gender biases in agricultural technology. We have looked on the causes. We have looked on the effects of gender bias in agricultural technology, and lastly, we have come up with the solution on how best we can deal with these gender biases in agricultural technology. I hope you have picked one thing or the other which will help you. So here we are. There is a revision exercise. I need you to answer one of the question: how does each of the following cause gender bias in agricultural technology? We have culture. Describe how this will this as a cause. Lack of early exposure to agricultural technology and the lack of access to capital by female. Apart from that, describe any 5 harmful effects of gender bias in agricultural technology. And lastly, explain how each of the following helps in dealing with the problem of gender bias in agriculture. 1. Promoting the education of females, reducing women's work burden. So try to work on this exercise. If once you are done, please try to compare with the answers provided. But if you have further questions, you can visit this WhatsApp number or just go visit Xulendo online for more information. And if you want to enrich yourself with information, you can also use the books listed here, as well as if you want to check more on the pictures, there are also links listed there. So we stop here for now until we meet on the other lesson. Goodbye.